Hello knitters, Phelan from Strand's Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. And I have some classes and stuff, but mostly it's July 2nd, so do you know what that means? It's Christmas in July time. All right, Christmas in July, I know, but it's a really good time to start thinking about what you want to do because, as always, knitting is a slow art. It takes time to knit. And so if you sort of get your knitting ideas out right now and start thinking about working on them, you can get things done without the stress of trying to get it done at the last minute, because last minute knitting, fun if you've already got pretty much everything handled and you feel like you want to knit an extra half for somebody, that's fun. But if you have to knit 5 Sophie scarves, that's what you want to do for gifts, that's not going to be much fun in December. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be knitting, oh my God, I got to get this done. So it's really, really nice to start thinking about it now. And it also allows you to do the bigger projects for people that you might want to do, like a sweater for somebody or a blanket for somebody or something, you know, that's going to take a little bit more time. If you get going now, you'll easily have it done by Christmas and you can just relax with it. The other thing this is a good time to do is any multiples. So I'll have a few smaller projects like ornaments or package toppers, things for the toppers for packaging, and but like your book clubs, your church clubs, your whatever, you know, your friends, your knitting people. So if you have to do, you know, 5, 10, 15 or something, it's a really good idea to do that starting now, so that again you have no stress and it'll be done. It's also great to do, like, if you're going on vacation, knitting is amazing on vacation. Car trips, oh my God, it's amazing. So if you already have these going, then you can use your vacation knitting time to sort of get these done. And again, zero stress and actually enjoy it and everything. So it's just a really good idea to start thinking this way. And so I sort of spend the month of July giving you ideas on things you can do to get your gift going. Okay, the first idea I have is the bias loop, which I showed you last week and maybe the week before. I have done, this one is done except for joining it. I have to Kitchener it, but I want to try it on somebody first, like wrap it around them, make sure it's a good size for when you drop it. I'll put pictures up here when you drop it down over your shoulders. So that one's on hold at the moment, but not really. And then I decided I'm going to knit these for Christmas gifts because it was just so relaxing and fun. So I started a second one using the multicolored that we have out of this, and it's turning out lovely. Isn't that lovely? It's like you can't hardly see it. There you go. So yeah. So it's the same thing. I'm doing exactly the same thing, but I'm using the multicolored one. So funny how when you look at things, you go, oh, what happened there? But again, nobody will see it. All right, so those would be a great, and they're perfect traveling gifts because you're just knitting a row, purling a row. On the knit row, you decrease 1 stitch on the beginning of the row. At the end of the row, you take away 1 stitch, and that's what's putting it on a bias. And a bias, if you know fabric, if you pull it this way and you pull it this way, it doesn't pull. But as soon as you pull it on the diagonal, it has some stretch. So that diagonal stretch is what is a bias. That's a bias. And so by doing the knitting, adding on one side, taking away on the other side, you can see how this is like totally in the bias. So this stretches like this way on the bias. And that's so that it can go around your shoulders and there's space there. You're not being squished trying to get it down around your shoulders, and hopefully it stays and all that kind of good stuff. But so that's going to be for my 2 sisters. That's what I'm working on for my 2 sisters. And I'll probably do one for myself too, because it's just a lovely, lovely gift. So we're going to do this as a class on July 11th, which is a Saturday from 12 to 2. I'm on a size 10 needle. The pattern says 10.5. I have it on a 10. You're going to want to be on wooden needles. You do not want to be on metal needles. It's too slick for this yarn. It's such a tiny yarn. This is technically a lace yarn, and it's very, very tiny. It's very tiny. Okay, so they just want to come right. I mean, I like said, nope, not doing it on metal needles. So I just moved them onto my well, this is my acrylic one that I was doing. So I moved them onto my wood needles, my laminated wood needles, and they worked best. They worked. This is what you want to be on, is a laminated wood needle. Bamboo possibly would be okay too. I don't think there'll be too much drag on it. So what you'll learn in class, because obviously knitting a row, purling a row is no big deal, but we have to do a provisional cast on. And that's so that these become, you'll take this white one off and you'll have live stitches. And that's giving you live stitches at the bottom, at both ends. So that you got this where you cast it on, those will become live stitches. And of course, what's on your needle is live stitches. And then you're going to graft it, Kitchener it. It's a lot of Kitchenering. That'll be a different class. But what you'll do in class is get it started. So learn how to do this provisional thing. If you can't crochet, don't worry about it. This is just a knitter's crochet. It's not like real crochet. So you're just using the hook to pull a loop through. That's all you're doing. And then you're picking up those loops, the loops on the chain, and then you start your pattern. So that's what we'll be doing in class. So you're learning how to do a provisional cast on with the crochet method. There's other methods, but I found with this yarn, the crochet method was actually the way to go compared to the other ones, which I use more often. But so you'll learn the crochet method of doing one of the crochet methods for doing a provisional cast on is what you're going to learn in class. So we'll get it going. So then you're going and you can just move through the whole thing. So again, extremely easy, really lovely. Everybody that sees this and they're just like, oh my God, because it's light as air. It's just lovely. So like a gossamer thing. So that class is July 11th from 12 to 2, and a good idea for your Christmas knitting. Okay, other idea is I'll put it right here, is the mitten garland that you can do as an advent garden, like an advent calendar kind of thing. So there'll be 23 mittens and a 24th mitten. I made a hat for mine. You can do a 24th mitten, just a mitten, and make it just special. So these little mittens, you can knit them. I'm gonna put pictures up here because there's lots of ways, lots of people have done this, and there's lots of options on how to do this. But I wanna get you going on the mitten because a lot of people look at this and go, it looks hard. It's not. This is a brilliant way of making a mitten. And once you know how to do your magic loop, that'll be, if you don't know how to do that, that's going to be the hardest part, is just getting that down, which you'll get down within the class. And then you can start these. So again, this is an Advent wreath, garland. So this is where you can put little gifties to open up every day before Christmas, the thing. And I've had a few people do it now, like for their grandkids. And it's just so much fun. Both of them, they've all said, once I got into it and going, it was really, really fun, because you're going to, the designs, at least that are on mine, you're making it up as you go. And you're going to go, oh my God, I can't do it. Yeah, you can. You decide, okay, I'm going to just do like even this. I'm going to do a stripe of the white, I'm going to stripe of the red. Oh, and the bow, that's just a rectangle. And then you cinch it in, you wrap it, you wind the yarn around the center and cinch it in. Super easy. And here's my other one, so that you're just sort of making it up as you go. It's real, and you start with the easy ones, like where the cuff is different than the other parts and stuff. And then you'll get more confidence, and you'll start going, okay, so what if I do this? Or what if I do that? And it really is fun. So I'm going to do this as a class so that you can get this mitten down. And this class is going to be July 18th from 12 to 2, so that's also a Saturday. This takes, you're on a size 7 needle, and this is worsted weight yarn. So you're not working on tiny yarn at all. You're working on bigger yarn. You want it bigger yarn. Matter of fact, these might be on the small side. You'd probably go up to size 8 needle, and they'd be a little bit bigger. But these are just so fun to make, and it's an amazing gift and a good idea. But you need to get started on them, because these have to be ready by the beginning of December and not the end of December. So that class will be coming up in a couple weeks. And the third class we're going to do is a top. This is more of a summer top. But I'm going to stick it in here because it's also summer and I don't want to lose all of July just to the Christmas stuff. So this is the Alma top. We have it in the studio knitted up if you want to come look at it. We use the WinQ. So WinQ is a worsted weight yarn. So obviously you could use any worsted weight yarn. But the WinQ is a really great cotton, and it's a, let me see, it's a cotton silk. So what is that, like 85 cotton and 15% silk? And we just got in mottled colors. These, isn't that beautiful? So we have we have these kinds of colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors of this, and then we have solids. All right, so you have traces. We have solids. So this is a top-down class, top-down sweater with the raglan. So we've been doing those because they're the most popular patterns, and way to make a sweater is top-down raglan. Partly because you have no seaming when you're done. You're done. And the shaping is pretty simple because you do it over and over and over again every right side row. So that's what this is. So this class, we're doing this class July 19th, which is a Sunday from 10 to 12. The 19th Sunday, 10 to 12. And what you're going to do is you're going to have to come get your yarn. You're going to make a swatch. You're going to cast on 30 stitches. You're going to knit a row, purl a row for about 3 inches. You're going to bring that to class, and you're going to bring a top with you that fits the way you want this one to fit. So how big do you want it? And so it's much easier. I say this all the time. It's much easier to take a top. It can be a t-shirt. It can be sweat. It can be any top. We're just needing the shape of the top that has the kind of ease, how much bigger than your body you want your sweater. Like, do you want 6 inches of ease, or do you want only 2 inches of ease? You don't know until you try something on, and then we figure that out. So that gives us a real measurement to go by, and we can get this so that it fits exactly like you want it to. The other thing we do is you're going to be trying it on as you go. So if we need to adjust anything, we can adjust it as you go so that it fits you really nicely. Same with if you're doing it for somebody. Just see if you can get a top that they have, or I don't know, be sneaky somehow to get some measurements for them. And yeah, so that we know, it pretty much will fit. All right, so this is a sweater class. This is a good beginning sweater. It doesn't have a ton of shaping, and it's top-down raglan, so it's a pretty good beginning sweater. And so if you want to try this as your first sweater, it's a good idea. And so this class is July 19th, which is a Sunday from 10 to 12. Okay, and the other thing I want to talk about today is matching your pattern to your yarn. So this happens all the time where somebody finds a yarn and gets a yarn and they have a hat pattern and they want to knit this with the hat, or this with the sweater, or this with the scarf. Oh, well, scarf doesn't fit, but and they're reading a pattern that uses bulky yarn, and they've got a worsted weight yarn. The pattern's gonna be too big. It's not that's gonna be too small. And then if you have like a pattern that's for a worsted or DK, and you've got a bulky, it's just, you've got to match them together. So how you do this is on the tag for the yarn, it has and I'll put something up here so you really see it. But it usually has a number now, like a 4, 3, a 5. So it usually has a number, and then it has. This is a good, yeah, I'll put it up. So then it has also what needles you're going to use, and usually it's a bit of a range, but you're going to use what needles, and then how many stitches to the inch, so the gauge is there. So at least, if nothing else, get the number, and if the number's not there, then match the needle size. All right, so just match the needle sizes within a needle of what it says, and then you're probably going to be fine. All right, now if it's something like a hat where you actually knit down a needle size, it just needs, like, if the sizes on your yarn are like size 5 to 6, and your hat says you need a 4 and a 5, or a 4 and a 6, that would work, because the smaller needle is just for your ribbing so that it pulls in, and then the rest of it's going to be on the 6, and the yarn says it's a 6, so that's a match. Okay, but you really have to look at both of them. You can't just go, I like this yarn, I like this pattern, I'm going to put it together. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes you might look out It'll be the same, but often you'll find that you've done it wrong, and if it's a fitted thing, it's not going to work. Now, there's lots of options and variations on a theme here, but just to be basic, and if you're just trying to figure it out, then that's what you need to do, is match at least the needle sizes on the two yarns very close. Like if it's off by one needle or so, you're probably fine. But if it's calling for a size 6 and 7 needle and your yarn says a 13 needle, it's not gonna work, not at all. Won't work. Okay, so that's how you start matching this up, because I get all the time people like, I had this yarn and here's my and this is the pattern, but now it's too small. What happened? Or this isn't working. What happened? So that's the number one thing you've got to be looking at, especially when you're choosing the pattern and the yarn. You have to marry the two. And then if it's yarn you already have, the other thing you could do is with the needle size, do a swatch and get stitch count. But really matching the needle size is really good. All right, so that's just a little bit of how you need to do that, just so that you don't end up with something that's really off, that just isn't gonna work at all. It's not fitting anything, but mostly it's trying to match these things that keep you from getting into too much trouble. So there you go. Okay, and that's it for today. So Christmas in July, I'll be talking about it all month. I'll have lots of ideas floating by, and then a few classes, not a lot of, there's only a few weeks, so there's a few classes, and but mostly just ideas, and you can always come to workshops, of course, to get help on anything you need if you're starting something. But again, it's really good if you want to do any kind of larger projects, it's really good to start now. It's really good to get these ideas out, so that if you're going on vacation, you have vacation knitting that's actually going to be productive. It's all productive, but this is like really productive. Like at the end of vacation, you might have half your Christmas taken care of. Like, come on, how good does that have? So, and mostly it's just so you get the stress out of making things for Christmas and you enjoy the process a lot more, instead of just, oh my God, I got to get this done, and you're going for hours and hours at a time. So anyway, that's it for today, and I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.